All right, we're in.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. I don't think Henry Mancini would be hiring me anytime soon. Let's just talk about him for a minute. Dave Bufalini. All the Academy Awards, Moon River, Breakfast at Tiffany's, The Reason I Fell in Love with Audrey Hepburn, George Papard, great movie, Turner Classic Movies, I never miss it. Think about this guy. So, Elsa DeChico, sadly no longer with us, and I've told this story many times. Big part of my Feast of the Seven Fishes broadcast, Coons Market, McKnight Road. Please, for everything you need for Thanksgiving here in Beaver County, Coons Market in Hopewell, we'd love to see you there. But she told me a story once that her dad, donated a little money to the former St. John Baptist Church to the priest to do the very first Saturday Mass in the history of that church. On the way to make a donation and to convince this amazing priest, look, we want to do this wedding thing on a Saturday, which was unheard of back then. Now this was just about the time, maybe 20 years or so after Aliquippa became Woodlawn Aliquippa. So we're going way back to the first part of the 20th century. He said, we have to stop off in West Aliquippa because I'm going to hire your band leader, the guy who's going to bring this band to perform. And that person was 15-year-old Henry Mancini. So think about what, Ed was talking about it earlier. Little dreams that become big dreams that become reality. And we're going to talk about your father and Kennedy coming here back in the day. I love Aliquippa. I love this history. But think about Henry Mancini because of your musical background. Is there anybody who's ever done anything as big? I mean, a Marvin Hamlish maybe. Look at the Pittsburgh Symphony, the movie coming out with Bradley Cooper, Leonard Bernstein, Andre Previn. But I mean, Henry Mancini, Lincoln Park School of Performing Arts in Midland. He's the man.
Amazing, amazing. What a talent. And it's just, his music is just, it just captivates you. It does. No matter what song you listen to from Henry Mancini, and you can have your eyes closed and play something obscure from him, and it's like, that's a Mancini tune because of his style.
Yeah, Pink Panther, all those great songs. Here's the other thing. We were talking about Big Rascal's dad, who last time we got together over Veterans Day, and how he was the band director there. But I think about the MPI Club and all the great Italians, music, politicians, and Italians. Your dad and all of you, a lot of these guys worked in the mill, like Mr. Murphy was saying, and worked really hard. Were they self-taught musicians? Could they read music? Because they could all play an instrument and they could all sing. Where did that come from? I know they weren't going to Juilliard. I mean, where'd that come from?
They went to Juilliard of Aliquippa. They learned at the MPI Club, and just all these, your Henry Mancini's, the people that spawned them. My dad talks about the band directors that he had at Aliquippa, and the way they were taught. Mr. Biancucci, I remember him. He was like bigger than life to me. Umberto Biancucci was bigger than life to me, and I grew up with all these guys. And yes, they did read music, and they were taught. And I remember when my dad first started teaching me, I couldn't touch my trumpet for at least a month. I wanted to play this thing so bad, even though of course I couldn't play it. And he made me broke everything down to start beating the notes of the music, what a whole note is, what a half note is, what a quarter note is, and that's how he was taught. So before you touched your instrument, you had to know what these notes, what these black dots on this paper meant, what the value was of each note, and it was tremendous. I mean, and to this day, when you go back at it, you look at the musicians that were spawned in this county in Aliquippa. It's absolutely incredible the who's who. We could go on with all these athletes, but equally we can go on with all the musicians that came out of Aliquippa in this area.
Well, when you, obviously, the San Rocco Festival, you have the doll dance, and then you have the procession, the Mass at St. Titus. My friend Dan Corsack comes back. So many people come back, but they've all been handed down from one generation to the next, as you have been, the ability to play some sort of instrument. And I know many times I've said, there's no way these people actually were taking music lessons because their parents wanted to pay the rent. So your dad taught you, and a lot of times it was parents, grandparents, just teaching kids how to play an instrument.
And then he went so far and said, I can't teach you anymore, you need to go to somebody else. And I went to Danny Corsi's uncle, Bruno D'Ambrosio, who was a barber by day and a musician. And when you say that, like the guys that worked in the mill, these guys worked in the mill in the day, they were barbers, maybe worked on the road department, whatever, carpenters, tradesmen, but yet they would sit down and we would play in the MPI band. And I'll never forget when I was there and heard these clarinet players, specifically like Eddie Palladini, and playing these violin parts, and I remember saying to my dad, these guys can play with like any symphony in the world. That's how good these guys were.
One more
It's
good one,
incredible.
then we'll get to the reason I'm here. I don't know if I'm doing you a favor or you're doing me a favor, but my friend Nick Trombetta, who I absolutely love, the father of cyber education, done so much for so many, was a great wrestler, great wrestling coach. He tells me the story, because we all love Bruno Sammartino. We all grew up studio wrestling, right? His father obviously worked in the mill, couldn't figure out why he wanted to wrestle and just didn't want to work and do what he needed to do to make a living. So Nick finally convinces him to come to Quigley to watch him in a wrestling match. And when it was all said and done, he said, "What did you think, Dad?" And Dad said, "Bruno makes a little bit of money doing what he does, so how much did you make tonight? And why are you doing this if you're not getting paid?" Because to those people, it was all about hard work, honest day's work, honest day's pay. But they also gave this gift of education and opportunities to their kids. Have you ever thought about all of the doctors, dentists, lawyers, educators, people that are doing incredible things, got that opportunity because of their parents and the hard work in communities like ours?
Absolutely. And instill that, I feel, in all of us, and to work hard, and that's why so many achieve so much from not just Ellicottville, but Beaver County and areas like this. And that's why I said, like, musicians who lose doctors, lawyers, everything, it's incredible. And I think it's nice that the library keeps that going too, and that's why the Holly Jolly is so special to me for what I'm doing for music at Hopewell and with our partnership with the B.F. Jones Library.
Talk about this event. This is a major event. Come one, come all. And honestly, it should become a tradition if it hasn't already. Go ahead.
That's my goal. I'm hoping that this Holly Jolly Christmas concert is like the event of the county that people go to. It's the first Saturday of every December. So this year, Saturday, December 2nd, it's a partnership between B.F. Jones Library and an artist in residence program that I run at Hopewell, and with the Hopewell School District's full support. And it's wonderful. It benefits so many children. That's why I'm so passionate about it too. We put this 2 hour and 15-minute show on. There's so much that goes on to get to the show day, so much work, but yet it lasts for so long. I use this analogy to a friend the other day. I says, all the fundraising efforts for bands are great, for music is great, and but when you go to the Holly Jolly Christmas show, when you sponsor the Holly Jolly Christmas show, when you buy a ticket, when you buy live stream to watch the show if you're not able to attend, that money lives on. Okay, for example, you buy a hoagie, and that's great, nothing against that, fundraiser. You eat the hoagie, the kids get credit, blah, 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 everything's good, and you're done with it, right? When you go to the Holly Jolly Christmas show, that money lives for years and years and years at the library and at Hopewell. Example, the money that I buy instruments mainly for kids who can't afford to buy or rent them, but basically I'm supporting the whole music program at Hopewell, from 4th grade to 12th grade. Whatever the course directors need, whatever the band directors need, instruments, music, etc., etc. Support the whole program. So let's say, for example, I buy an instrument, I buy a saxophone for a student. That student uses that saxophone, say for 4 years in high school, 9th grade to 12. And then another student in 5th grade gets that instrument at junior high, and it lives on for another 4 years with that student till they go to high school. Another student. So that saxophone may live for 20 years with a student. So I may outlay $250 for a used reconditioned saxophone, and it lives on for 20 years with the student.
Can people donate instruments to you?
Yes, people do that. People donate instruments. You can get a hold of me through the Hopewell School District. We have a website for the Artist in Residence program. You can call the school, somebody would get a hold of me. Reach out to me on Facebook if you'd like. Yes, so people donate instruments. I get them reconditioned and put them in hands of students. We get them clean, sterilized, where they need to be to the student. If it's not fixable, I'll use that to trade it in on an instrument that it is usable for a student.
All right, tell them how they can get tickets.
You can get tickets, you can buy paper tickets here at the B.F. Jones Library until day of the show. Friendly Federal Credit Union, as well as the Medicine Shop in Ellicottville. You could go on the Holly Jolly website. You can go on Facebook and type in the Holly Jolly Christmas Concert. That'll take you to our website also. You can buy tickets online, our tickets online have really picked up now. And then you can buy tickets at the door if you're unable to do that anytime before that.
Coming in this place, every time I'm fortunate to come in here, I just feel so warm and content. And as I was coming in, I saw a gentleman bringing his daughter in here tonight. Must have been no more than maybe 5th, 6th grade, okay? And just to know that this place has been here as long as it has, we as a society have to do everything, like Ed was saying, to keep these libraries moving forward, because it is a gathering place, and it is a place of knowledge, but it also where you keep your memory and your history of the people who came before you alive. We've lost so much in our society today, we can't afford to lose this stuff.
No, and I mentioned about the instruments living on, with the folks at the B.F. Jones Library do their portion of the proceeds from this Holly Jolly Christmas show, the children's programs here at the library. And it's amazing to come here and see all the children that use this library. When I tell people that, some people are like, I haven't been to the library in years, I didn't know they still did those things, or I didn't realize it was utilized as much as it is. And it really is. You know, I just heard something last week, a musician, Stevie Van Zandt from Bruce Springsteen's band, E Street Band, said, you know, the shame of it is, he started something like I'm Doing in Hopewell. And he said the shame of it is, in America, we look at the arts, music is a luxury, where other countries look at it as a necessity. And that's what I feel libraries are and music is, to continue. Without this, how do we know these things happen? How many generations are we going to be able to pass this information down? That's why these libraries are so important. That's why music is so important. Not everybody's going to be they can play football, but maybe somebody's going to turn into a Henry Mancini. So this Holly Jolly Christmas show goes a long way, and I have tons of stories that have changed children's lives by putting a musical instrument in their hand. I'm very passionate about it. And I guarantee you it's the best $20 we'll ever spend on entertainment.
We have one more of a very historic moment that is happening in days in connection to this great community. Again, Holly Jolly Christmas concert, you will not be disappointed. It'll be one gift that will keep on giving, like so many other things do at this library and with what he's doing every day. It's your Pratte Pack in Aliquippa at the